allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Irby? Here. Second Council District vacant. Councilmember Wassinger?
Here.
Folks, could we have everyone please be quiet? We've started the meeting. Thank you. Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Here.
Councilmember Stanger? Councilmember Quinn?
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Approval of the journal.
I move for approval of the journal of the meeting of June 10th, 2014.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The journal is approved. We have no bid openings this evening, so we'll move to communications.
Madam Chair, there are no tax compromises this evening, so I'll move to zoning matters. Under zoning matters, item number 1, 6th District.
Please hold in the order of business.
So ordered.
Item number 2, 6th District.
Receive and file, please.
So ordered.
We have nothing under road and bridge matters, Madam Chair, so move to other communications. Under other communications, item number 1, all districts.
Receive and file with the exception of the following locations.
Ammon Al-Shawakani, Managing Officer of ASA Market Incorporated, DBA Uptown Market, 100 Shipley Drive, St. Louis, Missouri, original package, and Ammon Al-Shawakani, Managing Officer of ASA Market. The same one here. She got two of them?
The Sunday original.
Pardon me?
The Sunday original package, Council.
Okay. And where else we got here? This is for the Sunday original package located in the 4th Council District, which shall be held on the order of business.
So ordered.
Item number 2.
Receive, file in the county council.
We worked on that.
Receive, file in the county council to be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 3, and that will be the order.
Item number 4, all districts.
Receive and file, same motion through item number 5, and that will be the order.
Item number 6, all districts.
Receive, file, and approve as requested, and that will be the order.
Item number 7, 7th District.
Receive, file, and the agreement be approved as recommended.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 8, 7th District.
Receive, file, and refer to the Department of Highways and Traffic for review and recommendation.
So ordered.
Item number 9, 1st District.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion for item number 10, and that will be the order.
Item number 11.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 12, 2nd District.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and a copy of this report be sent to the city of Overland, and that will be the order.
Item number 13, 6th District.
Receive, file, and the administrative director be directed to verify the petition, and a public hearing with the council as a committee of the whole be scheduled within 45 days of verification of the petition.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 14, 5th District.
Receive, file, and refer to the director and to the chair of the Productive Living Board for review and response.
So ordered. Do we have any add-ons?
No, ma'am.
County Executive, do we have any report? No report. Report of special committees, we have 2 reports. One committee of the whole, the St. Louis County Council met as a committee of the whole on Tuesday, June 3rd, 2014, for the purpose to consider a report on the status of the St. Louis County Children's Services Fund, all districts at 4 p.m. Tuesday, June 3rd, 2014. I move that the report of the committee of the whole be on Tuesday, June 3rd, 2014, be adopted as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The second committee of the whole I move that the report of the Committee of the Whole held on Tuesday, June 10, 2014, for the purpose of considering Bill Number 123, 2014, and accompanying resolutions numbers 3 and 4 dated June 3, 2014, be received, filed, and adopted as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The report is adopted. We'll move to the public forum. We have 17 speakers tonight. Please, Jen will call your name. We ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. She will alert you when your time is up, and then we expect you to wrap your comments up.
Our first speaker this evening is going to be James, I think that's right, McGee, and after him will be Viola Murphy.
My name is James McGee, the mayor for the city of Anita Park. We represent 24-1. That's 24 mayors with one vision for the Norman School District. We also brought some residents from Anita Park. I would have all the mayors and our residents to stand. First of all, I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of Bill 110 and 111. The historic vote of the St. Louis County Council in opposition to diversity program office in the year 2014 is a step backwards in the cause for equality. Now, I was born on a plantation. And it's a shame that this is 2014 and we're still fighting for rights. Still fighting for rights. You should be ashamed of yourselves. St. Louis City done passed a bill. Even MSD done passed a diversity bill. But St. Louis County, the largest in the state, cannot get together and pass a diversity bill. It reminds me of the plantation. We're calling upon St. Louis County legislators to ensure that its 30% minority population receive access to the contracts and jobs that their tax dollars create. Now, that affects everybody. If you think it's gonna affect you, wait till they be out of jobs. They're gonna come and break into your home. Give them jobs, that's all they're asking for. They're paying the taxes. All we asking that you do is give us a chance. Even God give 100%, he asked for 10% back. St. Louis County is not giving anything back. And I'm ashamed of that. We represent over 1,800 voters. We have a legislative voter that we get right now that do the phone calling. We have a bus, and we don't mind, we'll bring that bus out here every Tuesday until we get that diversity bill passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Viola Murphy, followed by Michelle Deshay.
Good evening. My name is Viola Murphy. I am the mayor of the city of Cool Valley. I also represent the 24-1 and my colleagues who could not be here this evening because of prior commitments. I also speak for 1,200 citizens of Cool Valley. And I'm here to support Ms. Irby's bills, 109, 110, and 111. You know, sometimes we have to change to move forward. Change is hard for a lot of people, and it's not easy for some people. But if my community had not changed, I would not be the mayor. I am the first African-American female, and I do believe in diversity. Now, Ms. Irby's bills is about diversity and about change and about how we need to move forward. Let me say this with all sincerity. I support unions, but I also support diversity. I was a teacher for 32 years, and you teach young people to be diversified. But St. Louis County is sitting here with no understanding of why you cannot pass Ms. Irby's bill. Minorities and women are smart. They are talented and they are valued. But this board is not presenting that to the community that you represent. We represent, and we're going to have that figure if we have to come back every week, how many citizens that the 24-1 represents. And we will go out to our constituents when it's time to vote. You're wanting to bring jobs here, but you don't want to have a diverse organization to build. This country was built on diversity. So I don't see why we have a problem. St. Louis City has done it. Kansas City has done it. We all live in North County, in St. Louis County. There are qualified contractors of all sorts that should be put on every single job that St. Louis County signs a contract for. I see my time is up. Please consider, we do represent a lot of people that are really paying attention to these three bills. Thank you.
Next speaker is Michelle Deshay, followed by Kevin Buchek.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Deshay, and I'm the mayor of the great city of Moline Acres, population 2,442. I was not able to be here last week because we had our council meeting. However, I'm here today to speak on the bills of Hazel Irby, Councilman Hazel Irby. I asked that the council revisit bill number 109 and pass Councilwoman Irby's versions of bills 110 and 111 without additions. Councilwoman Irby's version of inclusion will finally set a level playing field for minorities and women. I spent most of my working years as a proud member of Teamsters Union Local 688, and have supported unions throughout my political career. As an African-American woman, I also saw firsthand the lack of minorities and women in the union and enjoying the benefits of middle class. While I believe in collective bargaining and union loyalty, I also understand that I represent a constituency that may not be a member of a union, yet still have the skills necessary to feed their families. I cannot ignore my fiduciary duty to those who may not have been offered the privilege to be unionized. They deserve to be awarded contracts within St. Louis County as tax-paying citizens with legitimate businesses. I owe them the voice that I have, that I can stand up for them as they try to break the glass ceiling or knock down the doors of equality. While it saddens me that in 2014, I have to ask for something that should be given without a thought. It would pain me even more if I remained silent. Allowed the opportunities such as this legislation to be wasted. I am listening to my constituency, and I sincerely hope that you are listening to yours, especially those of you whose constituency is primarily made up of minorities and women. I ask the council to set aside your political aspirations and work together for the betterment of all, not just for the privileged. We are watching. Your constituency is watching, and we will remember your vote. And when we go to the polls on election day, we will take our city with us. Thank you.
Next speaker is Kevin Buchek, followed by Yafet
Good evening. My name is Kevin Buchek. I'm the mayor of the village of Belnor and also the owner of Roanoke Construction. I spoke up here last week, and I started my remarks last week with the comment that racism is alive and well in St. Louis County, and it hasn't changed since last week. We have a long history of racism in St. Louis, and it's got to be reversed, and it's got to start today. I'm here to support 109, 110, and 111, Hazel Irby's bills 109, 110, and 11, so we can start the change today. The change starts with you. It starts with this council. Tonight you have an opportunity to vote to do the right thing, to provide opportunities for minorities and minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses, as well as St. Louis County workers. My general contracting firm always uses minority and women-owned firms on every project, whether it's a requirement or not. But unfortunately, I am one of a select few that do so. Unfortunately, we live in a time where we still need quotas in order to provide opportunities for minority and women-owned businesses, as well as for minority and women workers. So tonight is your opportunity to start the wave of change. I ask for this council to vote affirmatively on Hazel Irby's bills 109, 110, and 111. Thank you very much.
Lee, followed by Ron Wagoner.
There is no.
Good evening. My name is Yafet El-Amin. I am the Executive Director of MoCan Construction and Contractors Assistance Center. I rise this evening again in support of Hazel Irby's Bill 110 and 111. 3 weeks ago, we witnessed the failure of the St. Louis County Council to enact a diversity office for St. Louis County. This was something that should not have happened. It was wrong, and it was unfair to the residents of St. Louis County. We are asking for this body to reconsider that legislation and allow for the diversity office to stand in order to ensure that diversity is achieved and is done in a way that allows for the strongest efforts to be made and inclusion to be counted fairly. When we rose this evening, many of us pledged allegiance to the flag. And in that pledge, we asked for liberty and justice for all. Are we speaking of justice for all or just us? We're asking for justice. Justice as you allow for your constituents to work on projects that they fund. Justice when you allow for businesses in your community to gain contracts and procurement opportunities on your project. Justice is full inclusion of each and every citizen who is ready, willing, and able, capable workers. We are not asking to put unqualified workers on projects, unskilled workers on projects. We are saying stand up for skilled workers in your communities to benefit from your communities. We are asking for you to take a vote today to stop crime in your community. How do you do that? You employ your community. A community without jobs feeds on itself. Feeds on itself. This is easy, it's right, it's conscionable. Take a vote today for your conscience and what's right for your community. Take a vote today for our region. For our region, for our state. Take a vote today to keep jobs in St. Louis County. It's easy. And we're asking for you to not prolong it, vote it up, and vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Ron Wagoner, followed by Mae Weston.
My name is Ron Wagner. I live at 149 Jefferson Barracks Drive, St. Louis, Missouri, 63125. I thank you for this time.
I'll make this as brief as I can. It's basically to Charlie Dooley and to Steve Stinger. We got a problem out there which the county cannot do anything about it because it's a state problem, but the county's got the influence to get it done. Coming off Telegraph Road on 255, making a left-hand turn going north. It is so sharp there, and it is rounded, but and I checked it again today, and the thing is, you can't even hardly see the lane. They made it yellow going right, they could make it yellow going left. There was a little Ranger that almost hit me again today. It come halfway over into my lane. There was a county policeman behind me. It's a relatively simple problem. It needs to be double striped yellow line coming out of there, and maybe even a sign put there, caution left turn. It needs to get done. Like I say, my wife and I have almost been hit several times. I had my grandchildren in the car once. Linda Henry and Mr. Stinger's office was kind enough to send an email to Michelle Vogel. She never did contact me. I contacted John Borsch's office. He said he would send one and contact me, which I've never heard any more from him. And I even sent an email to Linda Henry this morning after I almost got hit again. Once again, I know it's a state issue, but the county's got the situation to get it done. I really wish you'd help me, because I'll tell you what, this is something that needs to get done. And if it's endangering the citizens out there. I don't know how many accidents they've had there, how many accidents they haven't had. But I mean, I think even if you talk to the county police out there, because their substation's only probably about a mile from up there. But that definitely needs to be addressed. Is that it?
Thank you, sir.
Next speaker is Mae Weston, followed by Robert Jones.
Good evening.
Good evening.
To the County Executive, Madam Chairman, and members of the County Council. My name is Mayetta Weston. I'm a resident of University City in St. Louis County. And I'm here in support of Councilwoman Irby's legislation that seeks to ensure inclusion of minorities and women in hiring for county construction projects. It's crucial that the workforce accurately reflects the diversity of the county population. To restrict or exclude the participation of any group in county construction projects and employment is unfair and self-defeating. Minorities and women make up a significant percentage of the St. Louis County population. They own businesses, they pay taxes, they purchase goods and services, and they are an integral part of what makes this county successful. They deserve to be included when county employment opportunities are available. It is a sad commentary that current county guidelines do not take into consideration the societal barriers that present the full and equal participation of minorities and women. They bring skills and experience in business ownership, construction, and many other areas, yet their value to this region is consistently ignored and their assets lie unused. It is unfortunate that in 2014, Councilwoman Irby had to submit legislation to try and remedy this wrong. Sadly, it was necessary, however, because the largest county in Missouri has yet to recognize the value of inclusion. It is the responsibility of this council to represent every segment of the population and to ensure that employment opportunities exist for all St. Louis County residents. Therefore, I am asking you to support this very important legislation and vote for fairness, finally, in St. Louis County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Robert Jones, followed by Thomas Nellums.
My name is Robert L. Jones Sr. And I'm a resident of District 5, and I'm here to support Hazel Irvin 105, 111, and 109. And I operate a small business for the last 12 years in St. Louis County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Thomas Nellums, followed by Ray Woods.
Good evening. I came in full support of Bill 109, 110, and 111. And as I look at the news more in North County, I see why I support it. If you want to cut crime, start employing minority companies. And if you look, we hire minority people. So if you come out of your house, the kids going to school in the morning. When they come out of their homes, they never see anybody of their own color doing any of the work in their community. So you lead them to believe that they can't do the job. They can do it if they see someone else doing it. That's how I got into construction. I used to watch the Randall trucks come in and out that lived down in the city where I stayed for years. And I was very interested in trucking. So I got into it. So I know if we set a better example here in St. Louis County on why we need this 25 and 5, then we can help employ more minority people. And then if you think the 25 and 5 is too much, let's flip it. Let's give the other to them. Let them have the 70, let them have the 25 and give us the 75. Then I can understand why it's a problem. We just asked them for a little bit. And as I said last week, they don't ask for 5% of my taxes. They want them all. Let me miss 3 years of not paying my taxes. I lose my home to you guys, to St. Louis County. I see it happening all the time. All we want to do is just work. We don't want welfare. We want to work. Thank you.
Stokes. Ray Woods.
Good evening. Ray Woods. I'm a member of MOCAN, also Vice President of Town and Country Masonry. I support 109, 10, and 11, and Hazel. I'm in Ferguson, Missouri. That's where I stay. I remember the first time I moved from the city out here in Ferguson, and I see a lot of people working except for my people working, and we qualified brick company and Tuck Point and Restoration Company. The first thing happened to me when I moved out here in '99. I didn't have a business then. I was looking for work, just bought a house. And the first thing St. Louis County did to me is put me on community service because I couldn't put a roof on my house. So they took money out of my pocket instead of helping me get work. So that's what I'm saying. And then last few months ago, it'd be young men around there. I'd be wanting them to do work, give them some type of work like yard work or painting or something, and train them how to do what I learned. And I haven't had any money lately to do that, so they broke in my house. You see. So some of the kids, all they want is somebody to teach them something and learn something. But if we don't get no work out here and you say liberty, justice for the few, it's not us, because we don't get the work. And this 25 and 5, I don't even see why it ain't equal. If a man qualified, he should be able to work. But out here in some parts of the city, it's just like that, I guess. But it could be changed if we all change. Because I like to help all kids. I don't care if they're black, white, Asian, whatever. If I could teach them what I learned, I don't mind teaching them. But out here, it's just so hard for a black man. It's real hard. And I don't even see everybody else go home and eat steaks, but I got to feed my grandkids Roman noodles because I don't have the money. And I try to do everything honest. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Next speaker is Alderwoman Stokes, followed by Sean Carr.
I'm Alderwoman Ori Mae Stokes from Bonita Park. I am the board president of the Alderman Board. I represent Hazel Irvin and a bill of 109, 10, and 1011. Thank you.
Thank you. Sean Carr is the next speaker, followed by Jesse Lofton.
Good evening, Council. My name is Sean Carr. I'm a voting member of District 5, and I'm in support, full support of Bill 109, 110, and 111. There's been a number of things that have been said today that, I mean, it's profound in the fact that we're still sitting here today going over the same thing over and over again. I think we all take pride in being able to be a valued worker in the community in which we live in, and not having that opportunity is very, it's very heartbreaking, because the fact is that we get out there every day and we work hard, and then yet as I'm having my own business, not having an opportunity to ever bid on St. Louis County work. I've been out here for a long time, and yet still not one opportunity have ever come to my door, and I've been standing out of that, for a long time now, and have a lot of people that I'm sure right now that I'm going to be talking to, okay, and rounding people up to let them know, hey, listen, this is what's going on. We should have an opportunity. We represent a large part of St. Louis County and have such a small amount of work that it's not even, you can't even calculate it. So I just don't understand what's the fight about, as far as, why is it even a discussion? As many people have said, we need to pass these bills, 109, 110, and 111, and give working people an opportunity. It's working people. That's what we are. We're working people. Opportunity to be able to work. And I will be in full support of this. I will be knocking on doors. And just as we did when we were in college, getting people out and getting people moving, okay? Because this is something that needs to be moved on. So there will be definitely a bigger turnout, for this coming up election time. Thank you.
Next speaker is Jesse Lofton, followed by Pamela Fuller.
Good evening, board members. My name is Jesse Lofton. I'm the Regional Director and CEO for the Congress of Racial Equality, commonly known as CORE. What we do is try to make sure that everyone receives equal treatment. All of the speakers before me and those who will come after me are resounding CORE's feelings about diversity. I won't be long. I don't think I'll take my 3 minutes. I just want to say that as I stood back there and pledged my allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, I don't understand how anyone on this council could vote against diversity when you pledge liberty and justice for all. All right? I served in the Marine Corps. And it wasn't liberty and justice for all of us then. But it changed gradually. And I was told that time brings about a change. I haven't seen it yet, but I pledge to every mayor, every council person, all elected officials, citizens, the CORE of the North Central region, a 14-state consortium, will be with you now, then, and beyond. Thank you.
Fuller, followed by Terry Spees.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pamela Fuller, and I'm one of the 1,800 represented by my mayor, James McGee from Bonita Park. And I just want to say that I do support your bill, 109, 110, and 111. And I have 3 daughters. They work hard every day. And every time I turn around, one of my children are losing their jobs because of things like this. And they keep going. They say, Mama, what I'm gonna do? I said, hold your head up. Keep going, keep pushing. You're gonna get there one day. Thank you.
Terry Spees, followed by Lisa Panett.
My name is Terry Spees. I'm the operations manager for St. Louis Pizza and Wings. So we have 7 stores, 4 in St. Louis County. In April 2014, we had an inspection for a change of ownership, and we were told our hoods were not up to code. This store actually passed inspection in 2006 under the exact same code book that is in place today. It was also sold in 2009 and passed then. We have 3 other stores in St. Louis County that were passed under the same code book in 2010 and 1 in 2012. We have had a meeting with the supervisor of St. Louis County Health Department South Division and the inspector, and was informed, are basically told that our hoods were not up to par. When we showed them the codes and showed them the letters from the company saying that they were, they basically did not want to hear it. And we asked for a meeting with Mrs. Gunn, with Dr. Gunn, and they told us that Dr. Gunn would not have any info on this, and they would give her the info and it would be the same outcome. In the meeting, the inspector also told us that they were able to interpret the codes any way they see fit for the situation. That to me is a little disheartening, considering that we did everything by this book, and if one person can come in and say that they want to do the code differently, that to us kind of leaves us hanging. And we are not ready or willing or able to put out $10,000 to put in a new hood system for one that's already working properly and is passed inspection 3 times in the past, however many years since 2006. I don't know where to go from here. Don't know who to talk to.
Just see me after the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Lisa Panett, followed by Rashida Hassan.
Okay, I have a sheet for you guys. I want to address the public land trusts. I see that you guys are going to enter into a lease agreement, and my real problem is with all of these land trusts going forward. And that's why I have these sheets to show you, because I think that there's a real abuse going around the whole country with these land trusts, and what they're really doing is roping off the land, the government, so that they can gain money from them, so that they can buy the land, that they acquire the land, and in some cases, the public can't even access it anymore. And so I find this a real problem. The reason why I'm giving you these sheets, this talks about Colorado in particular, but St. Louis County partners with Confluence and the Ozark Trust for Public Land, and this group, the Ozark Trust for Public Land, partners with that group out of Colorado. And I just want to tell you how absurd it is, because they actually roped off land for expanding the mission beyond protecting land for people. Now they want to protect it for dinosaurs. That's why they're roping off the land. And they said with all the genetic research and cloning that we might see dinosaurs return one day, and if that happens, they will need a place to roam, grow, and play. No joke. That's why I handed it to you, because it's hysterical, but it's not a joke. And this is what they're doing with land trusts. And I see that we're going to be using more of our money for these land trusts, and we're already partnered with several land trusts, and it's very concerning to me because it's being abused. And so I don't want to see St. Louis County abusing more of our dollars to acquire land that we're not able to even access. And I want to just talk about your bill too for a minute, Hazel. You know that I support you on many things, and we differ in some things. And I would say I agree with these people and everyone in the room as far as this point. Justice is supposed to be blind. And I think what you see is, I've even had discussions with some of your staff members here on this council, and they have told me, no, that isn't the way that it's supposed to be. Yes, it is. Justice is supposed to be blind. And I think the problem is, we probably don't agree what that looks like, because I agree that I think that really, if justice is blind, then you would have decent people doing the procurement process, and many of these people in the room would have jobs and bids, and so would other groups. But what happens is that they are corrupt, and that unions come in and they corrupt things. But But I have a real problem with the timing of this, because this, to me, I look at this room, it's always empty. And when I see all these people here, I say, how dare they use these people and put this out now? Why in the middle of an election cycle? I mean, not in the middle of an election cycle, that's just using people.
Our last speaker this evening is Rashida Hassan.
Good evening. My name is Rashida Hassan, and I speak in support of Ms. Hazel Irby's legislation. And I also speak for the young youth generation who has lost hope. Many of my friends have resorted to the streets because they don't have the job and they don't have the opportunities to get jobs. And so what do we do to help? I can't motivate my friends to do more than I can because I don't have the opportunity myself. And since I've moved back home from college, I have found it's so hard to find a job. And being motivated off in college and coming back home with no employment is hard. And trying to motivate my friends to do so as well is even harder on me. So when is it going to change? And who's going to help? We have to do something for the youth because we are the future. And our generation has slowly just lost sight of just holding on because we don't have jobs. And we need something in place in order to make that change. And so I support your legislation, and I thank you for it as well.
Thank you.
That was the last speaker, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, could I make a suggestion? I would suggest that right now we have both Councilwoman Irby's bills on the agenda and Councilmember O'Mara's bills, and they both pertain to 20 and 5 minority business enterprise requirements. I would suggest holding all of these bills for 1 week because
Excuse me, Councilman.
now Councilmember O'Mara is not here.
Can we get through the introduction of bills and then we'll address that if you don't mind?
That's fine.
Thank you.
Bill number 132, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute an amendment to a contract with Towers Watson, Pennsylvania Incorporated for benefit administration consulting services. Bill number 133, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract for sublease of space in the Met Center building by Family and Workforce Centers of America. Bill number 134, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with 24-1 Community Land Trust for lease of space at 6763 Page Avenue for use as a county community outreach center. Bill number 135, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to grant an easement and temporary slope and construction license to Charter Communications LLC on property located in Creveport Park, authorizing the county executive to execute necessary documents. Bill number 136, introduced by Councilmembers Wassinger, Stanger, and Quinn, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a lease agreement with Great Rivers Greenway for lease by St. Louis County of 57 properties along the Merrimack River. Bill number 137, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance appropriating and setting apart the amount of $291,780 from the unappropriated balance of the Police Asset Sharing Fund for purchase of specialized law enforcement equipment. Bill number 138, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance amending Chapter 101, Title 1, St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 as amended General Administrative Provisions by enacting and adding thereto one new provision concerning an Office of Diversity Programs. Madam Chair, that is all the bills.
Thank you. And Councilman Quinn, I'm going to do the first two bills, and then we'll be at that point where you can make your statement. Okay? Perfection of bills, Jen.
Bill number 8, introduced by Councilmember O'Mara.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 69, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
please hold, and they'll be watered. Okay, now, we're at Bill 110, so we need to know.
Yeah, my suggestion would be that we have 4 different bills on the agenda now, each of them pertaining to 20 and 5 requirements for minority business enterprises. And Councilmember O'Meara sponsored 2 of the bills. He's not here this week. I would suggest that we hold all of those bills for another week so that we can hear from each of the sponsors about the bills, and then go forward with whatever bills the council decides to go forward with next week.
Okay, now, at last week's meeting, there was an agreement to hold the bills in an effort for the council to come to an agreement to combine my bills with Councilman O'Meara's bills. The day after the council meeting, when attempting to set up the meeting to negotiate or come to an agreement, we were informed that Councilman O'Meara would be on vacation until June 24th. When we agreed to meet, we were not aware, he never mentioned that he was going on vacation. So June 24th would be next Tuesday. He gets back the day of the meeting. We would have to, the day of the meeting would not allow us that any time to talk or meet or anything. So then that would take us to the following week. The following week, we're on break. When I shared that information with one of my fellow council members, they said, "What's the rush?" And I say, if not now, when? And when Lisa Panette, who we do disagree, and some things we agree on, you say in the middle of an election season, justice is you fight for justice regardless. It doesn't matter if it's during election season. So that's my point. Now, tonight, we promised the citizens who were here last week who spoke, we promised them that we would talk and have an agreement and come back to them. I'm not willing to wait. So therefore, I move for perfection of Bill number 110. Councilman Dolan.
Thank you, Chairman. I agree with Councilman Quinn. I understand the need, and I believe both of these bills, or both sponsors of these bills, have majority of the bills, the vast majority of the bills are the same. There's a few things that I believe can be worked out, and I don't think it's right, whether he's on vacation or not. If this would have happened 3 weeks earlier, then we would have this, but it didn't. So I can't speak for Councilman O'Meara's schedule, but I do think that we should try to negotiate whatever we can with this, and I think it's worth addressing at another time. So that's my comment.
Madam
Thank
Chair,
you.
may I
Councilman
make a brief comment? Yeah. As you know, you and I spoke over the weekend, and I think then and now I feel the same way. I expressed my interest in a few things. Number one, coming together and not knowing when Mike was going to be back from vacation or not, but coming together and arriving at an agreement on some bills that this council can agree with. And you and I talked at that time as well about bringing back the diversity office, which I voted for with you, and trying to get some consensus on the council, and perhaps bringing all of those bills together at the same time. And I would just urge, maybe we could get Councilman O'Meara on a conference call with us if necessary, whatever we'd need to do to just try to get together some consensus and have bills we can all
We said that over the weekend, Councilman Stinger. We said that over the weekend. When you and I talked, we said we agreed that we would get him, include him in the conversation, and we would do it over the weekend.
And I didn't know he was out of the town.
Right.
I really didn't.
And I didn't hear from you.
I didn't know he was gone.
Right.
But I'm very much willing, if we can get him together on a conference call, whatever we could do.
We have a quorum tonight. What keeps us from doing the right thing tonight? Why do we need Councilman O'Meara? The bill that we were going to bring back, you and I talked about bringing back Bill number 109. That's establishing the Office of Diversity. We talked about 110, which we we wanted to, I guess that one would be the same. We'd move the, we would keep that one the same. Bill 111, you and I didn't talk about, but I came to an agreement with some other, in talking about it and thinking about this whole thing. We drop it to $750,000, the $2 million threshold. We would drop to $750,000 and leave the Department of Labor apprenticeship program, which is what you were hesitant about because Councilman O'Mara's passion about keeping that in there. So if we're in Bill 111, if we're keeping in the Department of Labor apprenticeship, that program, and reducing from $2 million to $750,000, that sounds more than agreeable to me. I mean,
Was that the same approved apprentice, the training, the apprenticeship? I don't believe that was the same language as in the two bills.
I don't think that we're that far away from coming to an agreement. I
I
don't.
think
I mean,
you could work
I think
with
the
it, but they're
the
not-
minority goal
they're not the same
percentage is,
language.
well, the
if
minority goal
Councilman
percentage
O'Mara
is the
takes
same.
vacations when he promises you that he's gonna meet with you, we might be for, I think the attempt is to go past Election Day. That's my honest opinion. And so, I'm still saying, why do we need Councilman O'Mara here to do the right thing? I just need you to answer that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that those aren't our bills. I mean, so I think we need to have Councilman O'Mara here. But I don't know.
I move for perfection of Bill 110. I move for perfection of Bill 110. Okay, we'll move on. Bill 110 is not perfected. I move for perfection of Bill number 111. We have a substitute.
Madam Chair, we have a substitute bill. Would you like me to read the substitute?
Yes, please read the substitute.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 111, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance amending Chapter 107, Title I, St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 as amended purchasing by repealing and reenacting Section 107.130 and by enacting and adding thereto two new sections pertaining to workforce composition and apprenticeship training.
I move for adoption of substitute Bill number 1 for Bill 111. Substitute Bill number 1 for 111 is not perfected. Now, we'll move on, but I'd like to make another statement. I had a statement prepared last week, which I don't have now, because I was asked by Councilman O'Mara to hold the bills. I took him at his word. He did not follow through. Part of my statement was this. When Councilman O'Mara came to me, let me go back. Some of you know that when Councilman O'Mara passed his bill, the bill that we're trying to amend, there was a discussion that night, and I was told that there was something in place in St. Louis County that addressed minority participation. And I said, I wanted to look into it, but if I found that there wasn't, I wanted to come back and revisit those bills. This is what I've done. When I got ready to revisit the bills, I was visited by my fellow councilman who told me, please don't bring that bill forward. It will drive a wedge between us. And when I asked why, the answer was that the people over there in North County will be angry with me because I won't vote for them. And I just feel you should know that. So I've done what I wanted to do. I promised it that in November 2012. I've kept my promise by revisiting it. It had nothing to do with it being election year. Everybody who knows me, and many of you in the audience, some other people who I've consulted with since I've been here the past 10 years to find out how we could do this, know that it was not anything to do with election time. And I'm comfortable with that. So I don't care who thinks that otherwise. I tried to do what I felt was right. It didn't work. I thank you all for being here, and I hope that you don't let this go, that you will follow through and see that it's done. Thank you.
for a clarification for the minutes, for your order on bill number 110, is it to be held or dropped from the order of business?
Drop from the order of business.
And bill number
Yeah,
111?
drop from the order of business.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
You can continue on.
Bill number 118, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of bill number 118. Is this one of the, okay.
Madam Chair? Well, item 118, that's the 95,000 for the fraud assessment. I think that we have promised the people of St. Louis County that we do a fraud assessment. It's not an audit, it's a fraud assessment by a certified individual that know what to look for, that these types of things don't happen again. So I will hope that the council, again, would vote favorably on bill number 118. It's $95,000 for a fraud assessment and for a certified person that understands it and can give us some information as we go forward. It would be the right thing to do. Again, we've talked about this on many occasions, that this is the right thing to do. I will hope the council would set aside political opportunities and do what's right for St. Louis County. If that being the case, Madam Chair, apparently you have to wait till after August the 5th.
Well, Madam Chair, if I could just comment on that. I've already commented in the past about this. I don't think that the executive branch of the government should be doing this audit. We already have a county audit. To me, $95,000 is a lot of money. I don't think we should just be going ahead and throwing it away when what we can do is we can have our existing auditor take care of any audit that needs to be done. And there's not the kind of separation here between this particular audit and the executive branch. The executive branch is the one that's being audited, and the executive branch is the one that's going to be conducting the audit with the auditor. So they'll be supplying all the documents, they'll be supplying the people to talk to the auditor, they'll be controlling the information, and I just don't think that's the way to conduct an audit.
Madam Chair, let me be clear about this to Councilman Quinn. First of all, the administration is not being investigated or audited. We are auditing a fraud assessment. If our auditor has already audited the books and he didn't find anything wrong with it, we have a budget of approximately $600 million, and $95,000 doesn't seem a great deal of money to make sure that all fraud assessment has been approached, looked at, reviewed, and make sure that these things don't happen. There's no complete guarantee, but we can put forth our best effort when we find there's a flaw in the system. That's all we ask. A $600 million budget, and we talk about $95,000 for a fraud assessment for a certified person to come in and look at what we're doing, because apparently we can do all the great things. This council voted for a lot of those things in that health department. So don't act as if you don't have no shame, you have no responsibility for this. Yes, you do. You voted for it as well. So all I'm saying is the auditor has already checked, the in-house auditor has already checked the health department. He found nothing wrong at the time. So why would I depend on that individual? I think Reuben Brown is a well-qualified organization that can do this council a great deal of pride in looking at this situation and making sure that we get the best recommendation for a fraud assessment. We're not talking about adding up the numbers. We're talking about looking at what could possibly go wrong in our efforts.
What I might mention about that is one of the main driving forces behind this audit is the $3.4 million that disappeared from the health department. The contract amounts were exceeded routinely during that time. We know what happened there. There were all kinds of red flags. The administration did not follow its own procedures. That's what happened.
Madam Chair, I said earlier.
And I didn't vote for that, by the way. I didn't vote for that.
Did look into it, and he found nothing wrong, apparently. Nobody on this council found anything wrong. You see the budget every single year. All of us do. And yes, it was $3 million that was taken from this council. It's unfortunate. The person took his life. There's nothing they can do about it. The investigation showed that that individual was the only one involved in that process. What I'm asking this council for $95,000, can we have an assessment of our procedures of what we do, how we do our business, and to make sure this particular situation don't happen again. There's no guarantees, but we cannot allow ourselves not to take some kind of recovery, look at what we're doing, to make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure the money is being spent properly. Apparently, and let me be clear about this, we thought we had all types of safeguards in place.
We
Apparently,
did.
we didn't.
No, we did.
That's
They
what I'm
just
saying.
weren't followed.
Don't interrupt me, sir, when I'm speaking. Please don't do that. It's rude. What I'm saying to you is that we assumed that we had everything we needed in place. Nothing is 100%. Apparently, we didn't. And what we're saying is, if we didn't see this, it might be something else. We don't know what it might be. We did some things internally. There's no question about it. We looked at our own selves. But we think it would be prudent on us to get an outside certified fraud assessment person, Reuben and Brown, that can do their work and give us information and recommendations so we can move forward. That's all we ask. Now, if you don't want to do it, fine. If you want to wait till after August the 5th, that's fine with me as well.
No, I don't want to do it at any time. I don't want to do it after August, but we don't need to spend $95,000 for an auditor to tell us that we should have followed the procedures that were in place.
Madam Chair, all I'm saying is, from my perspective, Councilman Quinn, he won't be here next year anyway, so he's just talking.
Okay, Jen, you can.
I'm not running
So
for
we're
anything
gonna-
on August 5th.
I know it. Yes, ma'am.
What you gonna do with it?
You gotta drop it.
Okay.
I'll bring it up next week.
Okay. Okay, Jen, go ahead.
Your order is to drop from the order of business?
You holding it.
Oh, hold. Bill number 123, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
Please hold.
Bill number 124, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of bill number 124.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 124 is perfected.
Bill number 125, introduced by Councilmember Stanger.
I move for perfection of bill number 125.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 125 is perfected.
Bill number 126, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
I'd like to take it up. I move perfection of bill number 126.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 126 is perfected.
Bill number 127, introduced by Councilmember Quinn for Councilmember Wassinger.
I move for perfection of bill number 127.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 127 is perfected.
Bill number 128, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of bill number 128.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 128 is perfected.
Bill number 129, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
I'd like to take it up. I move perfection of bill number 129.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 129 is perfected.
Bill number 130, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 131, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Please hold.
So ordered. Final passage of bills.
Bill number 330, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
Please hold.
Bill number 106, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 117, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
I'd like to take it up. I move final passage of bill number 117.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby.
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger.
Aye.
Councilmember
I'm
O'Meara.
I'm sorry, we
second
didn't
it
get a
too.
second. I forgot. We didn't get seconds
I
tonight.
second it.
Councilmember O'Meara. Councilmember Dolan.
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger.
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 117, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 117 is finally passed.
Bill number 119, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for final passage of bill number 119.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby.
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara. Councilmember Dolan.
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger.
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 119, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 119 is finally passed.
Bill number 120, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Final passage of bill number 120.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby.
No.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 120, there are 4 ayes, 1 no, and 1 absent.
Bill number 120 is finally passed.
Bill number 121, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
I move for final passage of bill number 121.
Roll call.
Is there a second?
I'm sorry. If you
I'll
guys
second
would
it.
second quickly, I wouldn't do it.
I'll second it.
You don't, not supposed to second, right. He's not here either.
That's why I'm reading it.
Right. You second?
Call the roll.
Second?
They did, yes.
I
Roll
did.
call.
Did somebody?
Councilmember Erby?
Abstain?
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 121, there are 4 ayes, 1 abstention, and 1 absent.
Bill number 121 is finally passed.
Bill number 122, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Move for final passage of bill number 122.
Second?
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 122, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 122 is finally passed.
Moving on to resolutions, Madam Chair, we have done this evening, so we'll move to unfinished business. Under unfinished business, item number 1, 6th District.
Please receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 2.
Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 3.
Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
And Madam Chair, moving on to new business, we have 1 prepared order this evening.
I move for adoption of order number 1.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Order number 1 is adopted.
Move we adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.